Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to talk about one of the main things that's been going around a lot lately, and that is AI. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it going to stay? Is it going to go away? We're going to talk about some of the stuff. I'm going to give my own personal opinion on it, so let me hear what y'all have to say in the comment. Let's get into this. Alright, so AI, is it good or is it bad? I think it depends on how you look at it and also how people are using it. I myself, like with old documents and stuff where you can't read the handwriting, even like with like doctor notes, you can use ChatGPT or GPT to clean it up and make it more readable, which, but because a lot of schools are not teaching cursive anymore, a lot of kids can't read cursive. So I think it's a good thing to have because it's going to help them in the future once it gets better. Do I think AI is going to go away? AI is here, as far as I know, and let me see if I can pull it up. So going off of here, I asked, when was AI first created? And technically it was created back in the 1950s. It's only been, I want to say the past few years, it's become more accessible. So one of the other things I was told to look up one time is golf courses. Apparently golf courses uses more water. I was like, I don't know. Let's look into this. So I did pull up what uses up more water, a data center or a golf course. And apparently a golf course does use more water than an actual data center. So it got me thinking, what are other things that could be using more water than an actual data center? Here we go. Apparently all this right here uses more water than a data center. So why aren't people like going after all this stuff? I mean, granted, I'm getting tired of hearing about data centers being built here, being built there and all that, but I'm also getting tired of, as soon as you go down the road, oh, there's a new apartment complex being built. I get there's a lot of people here and we need the space, but there are older buildings that could literally be fixed up. Some cannot, but they could have easily been torn down and rebuilt as like apartments or something right there. Not them going and destroying more woods, more area to build this stuff. So back to my own opinion on it. Do I think AI is bad? I think it depends on how you use it. Because the way I see it, it's like the whole issue with the pew-pew. You know, people are trying to get pew-pews illegal and stuff like that. But personally, it's how you use it. A pew-pew can take a life, but it can also protect lives. AI can be used to destroy stuff, but it can also be used for knowledge. It's not as advanced as it needs to be to see more good. So I'm still kind of like on the fence about it. I do find it very inappropriate if people are using it to create things that shouldn't exist, like different ways of CP, framing people, stealing people's identity, you know, like what we had, the issue that we had with one of my friends that I was helping before, and the person was messaging me and he's like, I can literally go to his page, get a recording of his voice, put it in AI and make him say whatever I want him to say. That's where I see it's a problem. But there are different kinds of AI. So let's look at this. So right here kind of gives us a chart. I'm going to post this in the description for you guys so you can go and read the whole thing. Understanding AI, the 7 types of artificial intelligence. So this is 7 of them. There's actually more. Self-aware AI, narrow AI, general AI, super AI, reactive AI, limited memory AI, theory of mind AI. And this article kind of gives you a little bit more of understanding. Now, granted, I know with like the VTube community, the art community, some people are upset about that because people are going to AI. And I can't fault a lot of those people that are, because, and I know I'm probably gonna have people come after me about this, but AI is more accessible and they're not gonna run away with your money. Unfortunately, and I am one of those people, when I was first getting into VTubing and I was trying to get a reference sheet made, I paid this artist, give me a second, I'll show y'all. So I had been talking to this artist, they sent me a money request, I paid them €220 and it equaled out to $251.14. So, as y'all can see, I had messaged them and everything like that. We had talked back and forth, and this was back in 2024, so all the way down. And then it got to a point where I didn't hear anything else back from them. I literally thought they died. But then I found out later on that they changed their name, they made a new account and everything like that, and so I had called them out. We talked. I got my money back, but still, it's one of those, that was the first time I dealt with an artist and paid for an artist, and I literally got scammed, but then got my money back. So I get why some people are iffy about that. I'm also still iffy about commissioning people, because I don't want to get scammed. I don't want to be out of that money. So I get that. I get where people are like going to AI, because at least you're not going to get scammed, but you're still not going to fully get what you're wanting. I myself, I've played around with AI a little bit, and you got to be so good at putting in the words or describing what you're wanting. That's a pain in the butt, especially when you're not good at like putting in or saying exactly what you're wanting. That's why I also tell people I'm okay with accepting AI references, because another thing that I had is like a couple other artists that I had paid to commission. They only give you so many revisions, and of course, when you're first getting into this, you don't really know what to ask. So back to what I was saying, you would tell them, hey, well, can you change this? Can you change that? And you're not coming up with a list of things. You're just saying one thing at a time during like the first messages that you're sending each other. And then next thing you know, here you go, you're done. It's finished. You only got 2 or 3 revisions. Now, if you want to pay for, or if you want more, you can pay for more. Not everybody has that. And before y'all are like, well, if you don't have the money, you shouldn't do it. Well, that's why AI is making it a little bit easier for people. People that come in with that type of mindset is kind of like part of the problem. People want to get into this and have it as a hobby, not so much of a career, but some people find it relaxing and they don't want to use their real face. And I know y'all gonna be like, well, you could do a faceless camp. Yeah, but some people like to have a cute Abby on their screen. Well, you could pay for a PNG. Yeah, people could, but that can still be up to like $100 just to have created. So the next thing we're gonna look at is Leaflet. Apparently they've created a VTuber, a budget VTuber system, and it uses AI, but it's actually kind of cool. Here, give me a sec. So this is her little video that she's put out, and I'm just gonna let her do the talking.
Hey guys, Leaf here. I have an update. I was working on the project for a little bit today. Anyway, the big things are, there are a couple of new features I added. One of them was a little bit of smoothing, animation smoothing, so it pops a little bit now. It has a little intentional like jump that makes the animation switches feel a little bit more intentional, and I think it helps a little bit. And it also added a little bit of voice detection. I changed like how it detects so that it doesn't just cut out right away like when you're speaking, because when people speak, they usually talk in bursts, at least I do. Some people also do that, so it doesn't just automatically cut off if you wait like a couple like milliseconds between your next word. Anyway, so I did that, and then some other things I did was a little bit of smoothing for the emotions. So there's a little bit of changes there when going between.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I'd like to talk about. Like, even when you get a model made, if you want them to have like hand toggles or like special animations or stuff like that, that's extra that you have to pay for. And sometimes that can be like an extra $10, $20. Some people will charge more than that. Like, I hate to say it, like, yes, I get it. It's expensive. It takes a lot of work. I have seen the progress or process of it. I am learning the rigging myself, so I understand how difficult that is too. And especially with like the different type of rigging that you're trying to add to have them like do all this extra stuff. But especially like when one thing is only gonna take like maybe 5-10 minutes to like rig or something, that shouldn't cost a lot. And that's just my opinion on it. Like, for instance, with the other body that I have, my main body for this model, I put in to where I can toggle off the arms and toggle them back on. But I do that because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted my artist to have. I knew I wanted arm toggles, but I wasn't sure what I wanted them to have. In the end, I made it to where I could just toggle off my arms and then toggle in other assets that I have bought and owned. I think a lot of people should add that. I also think as a rigger, one of the best things you could also add is where you can have the body toggle on and off versus them going into VTube Studio and turning the opacity down on each part. To me, I just feel like it's a little bit easier and it doesn't cost extra. It shouldn't cost extra. At least I wouldn't charge for that.
Emotions and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
thing I added.
That's the other thing too. Some people will include like 3 to 4 expressions, and then others will charge you an additional amount for each expression that you have.
I added randomization, so now you can have multiple lead-in emotes and multiple outro emotes, so that you can run a random emote system where, say you wanted to, here in this case, I'll transmute my gun.
That's wicked. That's actually kind of cool.
What I can do now is the outro for it, like the switching back to the original state and switching into the gun state, can have a random animation. So here's like an outro. She drops the gun. So drops the gun and then transmute another one. And it's random, so it could play the same one multiple times, but here's another one. See, it plays like a completely different one. And another thing, I added a little bit of fade to the outer box, so you don't have like that square box effect anymore, where it kind of looks like something's just hard cut off on a rectangle. So I changed that as well, but I did that in the editor, so you can choose to have an effect actually go all the way to the edge, which is useful if you're walking off screen or you're doing something like that. Also, the bleed doesn't occur on the bottom because the bottom's cut off anyway, so we didn't do that there. See if we can get the other animation here for the transmute. Again, it's random, so
I just think that's a pretty cool concept, especially with coming into the VTube community and you don't have the money to get started, and especially if you don't even know how to draw on your own. People are probably going to come in the comments, well, a stick figure is better. Well, yeah, well, would you like stream with a stick figure? I would love someone like have that blow up in my face and make a bunch of stick figure models. I don't feel like people should like bring it down, because like I said, AI is here. It's not going anywhere. It's just gonna keep getting better regardless. I feel like in the beginning, before they started putting in all these different rules and stuff in place, it was already kind of like taking your artwork and stuff like that without you knowing. But then I guess people had a problem with that, which I get it. I mean, I myself have had my own stuff stolen, but what can you do? Sit there, throw a fit, report it? But a lot of times those reports nothing's gonna happen with it. One of the other things, when I was talking to someone about this, the colleges now are actually teaching AI, how to look out for it, how to use it, everything like that. And the person I was talking with, they are a photographer. And of course, they're being taught how to look out for stuff, how to use AI to fix the images, to make them like better, clearer, stuff like that. And we were talking about AI and they were like, well, you know, people are throwing a fit, but think about it back in the day when photography became a thing. Well, a lot of painters ended up losing their job. Not saying artists now are going to lose their jobs. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but that's a part of life. Life is always going to have challenges. And he was like, think of it back then, you know, painters, that was the only way you could have a family portrait, some kind of family picture. And then when cameras became a thing and people were getting their pictures taken, it cost less, it didn't take as long as the painting, and you could pretty much get it within the same day, if not the next day. And I'm like, you know, yeah, I mean, they just learned to adapt to it. And that's how it is now. People just need to learn to adapt or just get left behind. It's one or the other. So I'm sure I probably missed a couple things talking about this. So if y'all want to voice your own opinion in the comments, I'll probably make like a part 2 and go over your comments and talk about it. We can have a good discussion. So until next time, bye everybody!